Kaugnay ng rekomendasyong ituloy ang dagdag na oil excise tax, makakausap natin for the record si Energy Assistant Secretary for Oil Industry Management Bureau, si Bodie Pulido. Magandang umaga sa inyo, Assistant Secretary Pulido.
Magandang umaga po na.
Okay, pag-usapan natin itong sunod-sunod na oil price rollback. If I'm not mistaken, this is the 8th consecutive na time na talagang bumaba yung presyo ng krudo. At ang laging sinasabi ay bumababa rin kasi ang presyo ng langis in the world market. Of course, masaya tayo for this. Pero bakit ba nangyayari ito? Is this just a seasonal thing? Or ma-expect ba natin na up to the next year, pag 2019, ay tuloy-tuloy pa rin yung pag-rollback ng mga presyo ng produktong petrolyo?
Well, as to why it's going down, it's really a series of geopolitical events. It really started with an increase. Before this consecutive 8, tuloy-tuloy yung umakyat. Precisely po because of what happened in Iran and Venezuela. The US has economic sanctions against Iran and Venezuela. So napilitan po ang OPEC countries and some non-OPEC countries to increase production.
Okay.
Ang nangyari po, habang nag-increase sila ng production, biglang nag-issue ng waiver ang US po to 8 countries, no? To allow 8 countries to purchase or keep purchasing fuel from Iran. Dahil po doon, nagkaroon naman ng oversupply. So now we are benefiting from that oversupply.
Okay. Pero pag naubos na yung supply?
So yun po, sabi nga po namin, the projections right now are actually favorable.
Correct.
Right now, the projections po, that this low price will probably continue up to the first quarter of 2019.
First quarter?
Opo, yes,
okay.
ma'am. That's the projections, not only of the Department of Energy in the Philippines, but also of other international agencies. Ang problema po natin, there is a meeting that will occur on December 6. In that meeting, the OPEC countries will be meeting to discuss ano po nga po yung nangyayari at kung pa pwede po nila magbawas ng supply para umakyat po ulit yung presyo. Because again, it's a matter of economics for them. When there's an oversupply, mababa po yung presyo, hindi po sila kumikita masyado. So, posible po sila mag-cut ng supply.
So right now, projections-wise ay up to the first quarter of 2019. Pero depende pa to sa mangyayari sa meeting ng December 6?
December 6.
December 6, oo. Kasi pwedeng doon maayos sila at pagkatapos niyan ay tumaas ulit?
Meron po, biktima po talaga tayo ng geopolitical situation. We are a net oil importer. Talagang tayo po ay, we are all dependent on what happens in the world market. In fact, there was an event that happened last weekend. Last weekend po, there was a G20 meeting. And there was an agreement between China and the US. Alam niyo po, yung trade war sa China and US actually has benefited our country because bumaba po yung demand sa US ng langis. At since bumaba po yung demand doon, nagmura yung langis para sa atin. However, because of that 90-day truce between China and the US, actually may reflection na po sa world market. Umakyat na by $2 per barrel on average.
Okay, so medyo hindi natin tansyado, hindi natin alam kasi based on geopolitical events, doon lang tayo very volatile. So hindi natin sigurado. Pero meron ng recommendation na yung oil excise tax na ipapato sa January ay ituloy pa rin. Ano magiging effect nito? Kasi kung hindi pa naman pala sigurado, paano kung tumaas din yung presyo in the world market ng oil prices, tapos may oil excise tax pa, hindi ba lalong mahihirapan yung ating mga kababayan dyan?
Ma'am, so our economic managers are correct po to expect, based on the facts that we know right now, the details that we know right now, it's correct for them to assume that the oil prices will continue to be low over the next few months. Kami naman po sa Department of Energy, we're just cautioning na baka pwede po tayo maghintay ng kaunti, specifically for this meeting of OPEC. Kapag natapos po yung meeting ng OPEC, maybe then we would have a better idea kung ano po yung mangyayari doon sa merkado sa ibang bansa.
So ang posisyon ng Department of Energy ay wag munang ituloy?
Wag munang mag-recommend.
Wag munang mag-recommend.
Let's wait for the December 6 OPEC meeting. Actually, ma'am, I don't want to preempt anybody. It's above my pay grade. But there is a cabinet meeting today where the DOE, the DOF, and the DBM were asked by the Office of the President to give recommendations to the President regarding the whether or not to suspend the second tranche of train on petroleum products.
Magkano ang inaasahang presyo sa kada litro ng gasolina at diesel kung matutuloy itong pagpapataw ng second tranche ng oil excise tax?
Well, again, ma'am, the price is dependent on the world market. But of course, the second tranche would place another additional almost 2 pesos per liter.
2 pesos?
Yes, ma'am, almost, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay, 2 pesos. Tapos kung sakaling may nangyari in the world market na tumaas, madadagdag pa doon.
Yes, ma'am. It's so volatile namin. Yun po talaga problema sa langis. It's very volatile. There's the Permian Basin in the US. Aakit daw yung production nila next year ng almost 1 to 2 million barrels per day. And that supposedly will benefit us kasi bababa.
So do you think...
But ang dami pong pwedeng mangyari.
So tama bang magpataw na ng oil excise tax ngayon, ng January, to think na very volatile pa yung situation?
Ma'am, kami po, we're just asking that maybe we can wait for this. It's only on Thursday.
Okay.
So maybe after we see what happened on Thursday, then baka mas madali pong magdesisyon at magbigay ng rekomendasyon sa Presidente.
Oo. Kasi lalo pa na nag-rollback na rin ng presyo ng pamasahe ngayon. Bumalik na sa 9 pesos. So aaray na naman yung ating mga transport groups, yung ating mga drivers. Lalo pa, balik na sila sa 9 pesos na minimum, pero magpapataw naman pala ng oil excise tax.
Nagdadasal po kami na tumuloy-tuloy po itong presyon to. And that's why kami po sa Department of Energy, we're pushing for other programs. Kasi nga po, tayo po talagang we're really victims of the prices in the world market.
Right,
so kami po right now, we're pushing for a further exploration of energy resources.
Meron kayong Philippine Conventional Energy Contracting Program.
Yes, ma'am.
Tama ba?
Yes,
so ito, ang pupuntahan ninyo, magkakaroon kayo ng oil exploration within the Philippines. Tama ba?
Yes, ma'am. That's correct.
Pero hindi dun sa disputed areas.
Yes, ma'am. Hindi po sa disputed areas. We have what we call 14 predetermined areas. And these are areas po na madami po tayong magandang seismological records na pinaniniwalaan po namin na meron mahahanap.
So merong langis sa Pilipinas?
Meron po. Actually, right now, we're actually producing around 26,000 barrels per day. But the country needs about 290,000+ barrels per day. So we are a net oil importer. So malaki po talaga yung pinapasok nating langis. But yun nga po, malaki po yung potential natin. We are considered one of the most underexplored areas in Southeast Asia.
Okay. So meron tayong oil resource pero hindi lang natin natatap.
Oo, ma'am. Kulang po talaga tayo ng efforts na maghanap ng sarili nating indigenous
Drilling.
resources. Yes, ma'am. The last significant find was Malampaya, and Malampaya is now reaching what we call critical depletion.
Okay.
So, in fact, dapat po talaga, nung nahanap yung Malampaya, tinuloy-tuloy po sana yung programa ng paghahanap na iba pang indigenous resource.
So, saang areas itong 14 na na-identify ng mga geologists na merong oil, may possibility na may oil?
Ma'am, the 14 areas, it's all over the country. We have one big area in Northern Luzon. We have areas in Sulu, and a lot of it is also in Mindanao.
Talaga. Okay. And speaking of oil exploration, meron ding isa pang pinag-uusapang joint oil exploration naman ito. Pero ito dun sa disputed areas, doon nga sa West Philippine Sea. Ito yung Memorandum of Understanding with China. Ano na ba ang status nito? Talaga bang magkakaroon na ng joint oil exploration between the Philippines and China, at least in the West Philippine Sea?
Ma'am, I'd like to take this opportunity to borrow the words of Secretary Husi. And I believe his description is the most fitting.
Okay.
This signed Memorandum of Understanding is actually a Memorandum of Understanding to explore not petroleum resources, but to explore solutions on how we can jointly explore. In other words, it's a very preliminary document. It's currently does not have any concrete provisions as to paano po ba natin gagawin to. It's just an expression of interest na, sige, gawin natin together para wala pong masyadong dispute, but to handle it amicably and diplomatically. Pero
may kasunduan na ba na magkakaroon ng joint oil exploration? O wala pa rin?
Ma'am, from a legal perspective, it's a memorandum of understanding. So it is so far a non-binding document, but it is a shared expression of interest between two countries to amicably and diplomatically explore resources in a disputed territory.
So non-binding ito. So pwede pang matuloy, pwede rin hindi matuloy?
Pwede, that's correct, ma'am. Because it's a non-binding, it's a very preliminary document.
Oo. Pero gaano ka-importante yung ganitong klaseng joint oil exploration? Meron bang posibleng maging solusyon ito doon sa mga pagtaas ng mga presyo ng produktong petrolyo?
Sana po, ma'am, because we really need our own indigenous resource of oil, and we can't wait forever. One of the, sa geological records po natin, isa sa pinakamagandang area po ay nandoon po dun sa tinatawag po natin disputed area, in what we call the West Philippine Sea. Doon po talaga yung napakaganda ng record. So, it would be impractical for us to wait indefinitely. So, it would be better if we could find some kind of diplomatic solution where we can tap those resources. At makakatulong po yun in the medium term.
Oo. Pero gaano katagal?
Well, it takes, ma'am, normally, just to give us an idea, and the reason why we can't wait forever, exploration and development takes a while. On average, it takes about 5 to 10 years. just for resource development and exploration. So
5 to 10 years.
Yes, ma'am. Medyo it's a significant amount of time.
Oo. Pero the point is, whether it's in the disputed areas or other parts of the Philippines, kailangan talagang maghanap na ang Pilipinas ng sarili niyang oil resource. Kasi we can't be dependent forever doon sa ibang mga bansa. Kasi napaka-volatile nga na situation.
Yes, currently, to give you an idea, the Philippines on average drills about 3 wells a year. Sa ibang bansa po na makapitbahay po natin, nag-average po sila ng between 30 to 400 wells a year. So, ang layo po natin.
Ang layo natin. Ang daming kailangang habulin.
Yes,
maraming salamat sa iyo, Energy Assistant Secretary Bodie Pulido. Bigyan mo kami ng update tungkol dun sa recommendation kung matutuloy ba itong excise tax na ito sa January. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you, ma'am.
Maraming salamat po.
Thank you, ma'am.